get set. Where them hands, where them holes, where them throws, you know what I'm saying? Cecil.
I'm doing in this one a reaction slash commentary. When Andrew Branca, attorney at law, answers my question. I put this question on one of his webcasts, and I sent it in too late, so I didn't think it would get answered. But he answered it on his next one, so I'm glad. And this is a question that I know a lot of martial artists have, so I asked, and he answered. So check it out.
So someone had sent in a question. How much force am I allowed to use if I am an unarmed martial artist attacked by a knife or gun wielder? We get these kind of questions quite a bit from martial artists. Many of them seem to feel that as long as they're just using their hands, their empty hands, that they're using non-deadly force against another person. That may or may not be true. There are many martial arts techniques, barehanded techniques, that are non-deadly techniques in the sense that they are not likely to cause death or grave bodily harm. You can use those against any degree of threat, either a non-deadly threat or a deadly force threat against you. Of course, if you're facing a deadly force threat, you can also use deadly force in self-defense, and there are martial arts techniques that do qualify as deadly force.
Now, he said it. Somebody that's not an instructor of martial arts said it. Some of these techniques are deadly. So those of you who want to act like it's all phony, and those of you, I want to put my kid in here to learn confidence. Some of the stuff your little child is learning could really hurt somebody. I don't have a problem with that, though. But you need to know that. Now, let's continue.
If not because they're likely to kill the person, then because they're likely to cause grave bodily injury. Remember, deadly force under the law includes not just force that can kill, but force that can cause grave bodily injury. You can imagine an elbow lock, for example. You lock up somebody's elbow, you apply a few pounds of pressure, it's very uncomfortable. It can inhibit their ability to fight, but it's not causing serious bodily injury. It's mere non-deadly force. But you put your full weight behind that elbow lock and you destroy that person's elbow, which is quite possible. Now you've caused grave bodily harm. Carrying through with that elbow lock to the destruction of the elbow is deadly force, as deadly force is defined by the law. So,
just so you know, if you do a lot of these techniques with the right timing, you don't even need to put a lot of body weight behind it. You should, but it doesn't take a lot of muscle per se. If you do it with the right timing, snap, crackle, and pop.
With that context, to get back to the original question, how much force am I allowed to use as an unarmed martial artist attacked by a knife or gun wielder? You can use the same degree of force anybody could use attacked by a knife or gun wielder. If that knife or gun wielder represents an imminent threat of death or grave bodily harm, that's otherwise unavoidable if you're in one of the few remaining duty to retreat states, you can use deadly defensive force capable of causing death or grave bodily harm, to defend yourself against a deadly force attack. It doesn't matter, and once you're using deadly force, it doesn't matter what type of deadly force you're using. There's no gradations of deadly force. A baseball bat to the head, a shotgun blast to the head, a knife to the chest, an anvil dropped on the head, Roadrunner style. None of these is more or less deadly force than the other. They're all deadly force. All forms of deadly force are equivalent. So you're a martial artist, you're attacked by a knife or gun wielder. Let's presume for purposes of discussion that's a deadly force attack. You can use deadly force in self-defense. That might be one of those deadly force barehanded martial arts techniques. That's totally appropriate. You might pick up a rock, and now you are armed, and you can use the rock in deadly force defense against this attacker.
Picking up a rock or a brick to hit somebody, that's not from Taekwondo or Judo or, Aikido or Karate-Do. That's from Ghetto or Crazy.
But that's the element of proportionality of the 5 elements of a self-defense claim. If you're only being attacked by non-deadly force, you can only use non-deadly force in self-defense. If you're being attacked by deadly force, you can use deadly force in self-defense, assuming, of course, that the other elements of self-defense have also been met.
So you see, while the good General Choi, when he put together Taekwondo, he pretty much made all of this stuff like military type of striking applications for it to be seriously used to hurt someone that's trying to hurt or kill you. So there's really nothing wrong with that. There's really nothing wrong with that emphasis on Taekwondo. I personally came up with Cecil Ryu, adding other stuff to what the general already provided us, just so you can have options in case you don't want to, even if the person is using deadly force, you don't want to kill them. But even I have to admit, and this is not me saying it, legally, if somebody's trying to kill you, you can try to kill them. If somebody's trying to hurt you bad, you can hurt them bad. So don't get mad at me, get mad at the law. And thank you, Attorney Andrew Branca, for answering my question. Peace.